You're listening to Embrace Your Snake. This is a podcast for those people who've been told that they can't do something or afraid to do their own thing or have been told in their own minds that they can't do it. I'm your host, Michael Jackson, and today we're going to talk about Gabrielle Union and about who's sticking up for whom. So let's talk about when do you stand up and when do you sit down. I'm going to talk about Gabrielle Union today. She's, depending on when you listen to this, you may or may not know that she is was a judge on America's Got Talent. And recently, I believe it was on November 27th, and this will be 2019, she broke her silence about having gotten kicked off of that show. Now, we can say it's disputed as to whether or not she was fired, her contract ran out, she was let go. That's the polite way of saying it, right? But it came out later that there was a lot of things going on behind the scenes on the show that didn't really make a lot of sense for anyone who actually thought about what was going on. But anyway, on November 27th, she decided to actually speak up. And in a tweet, she wrote this. She said, "So many tears, so much gratitude. Thank you. Just when you feel lost, adrift, alone, you got me up off the ground, humbled and thankful forever." Now, the reason I think this is important is because she finally had the courage to stand up and say, you know what, enough of this. And because of the support she got from the people around her, people that backed her, and people that said, what's happening on that TV show that she was a judge on is wrong, was wrong, and continues to be wrong, and we support you, Gabrielle. Now, there are several people that support her, and I'm gonna name a few here. Let me just scroll down. I'm actually looking at my computer screen right now. Kerry Washington, she says, "I love you. I stand with you, and I stand with you." Gabrielle Union, and her Twitter handle is it's Gabrielle U. So that's what Kerry Washington says. Here's what Tamron Hall writes. "Never alone at Gabrielle U. Has this way of encouraging people to speak their truth. She did that for me on so many occasions. I'm proud of her for owning her story and her truth." And then there's Ellen Pompeo. She writes, and this is a rather long one. I'm going to read the whole thing, so bear with me. She says, "I support at It's Gabrielle U commitment to speaking up to injustice. It takes courage to and she's from Grey's Anatomy. And she continues this way. "This is a teaching moment. It's important. White girls, I'm talking to you." And in case you don't know, Gabrielle Union is black. So she says, "White girls, I'm talking to you. Whether you truly understand what racial injustice is or not, that you stand with your sisters on the front lines. Don't cut side deals and don't not get involved because it isn't your issue, because it is. Workplace culture will continue to be toxic until there is unity and solidarity among all women. If you go for self in these moments, you undermine the work we are out here trying to do. Obviously, this network feels like they can operate like this, and it's okay." Now, every one of these people that I've just mentioned has stood up for Gabrielle, and they put their voice out into the public. But let me tell you why this is important. Let's put Gabrielle on one side for a second. She's got a whole thing to deal with, and she spoke up, and that truth is powerful, okay? But here's what I want to say to you. Sometimes you're going to be the Gabrielle, and sometimes you're going to be the person on the sideline looking at what's going on between the Gabrielles and the people that are abusing the Gabrielles. And my question to you is this: do you have the fortitude? Will you stand up and say what's right, or will you stay quiet and think that whoever is against Gabrielle, oh my gosh, they could be against me too, I don't want to say anything. I'm just going to sit over here in the corner and kind of just watch. And maybe if someone asks me, I'll kind of like go like, yeah, that's kind of not right what they're doing to her. Or will you stand up like Ellen Pompeo did and actually say, this is wrong? This is saying this is wrong to the people that can fire you from your job. Stand up, have some balls, and say, you know what? What you're doing is wrong, and you need to change that right now. And I don't care if I'm going to get fired. I don't care what you're going to say, because I'm telling the world you are wrong. And you stand up and you put yourself out there and you do the right thing. There are so many times that you can do that in this culture, in our world. You can stand up for the little guy when you see some injustice happening. You can stand up for the minorities when you see something is happening. You can stand up for your employee when your boss is making them do things that that aren't right, making them stay for overtime. Just little things, You can stand up when it is inconvenient to you because you've got more in this world to give and more to worry about than some pitiful little job, some way that your friends might look at you. Because I will tell you right now, if you stand up and your friends say, oh my God, you shouldn't have done that, Michael, why don't you be quiet? Like right now, I'm standing up. I want people to know that what is happening to Gabrielle is wrong. I'm actually saying right now, the people who are standing up and voicing their opinion, I am proud of you, and that's the side of justice I want to be on. I want to be the person who stands up and says, this is what I believe, this other thing is wrong, and I am not going to stand for it. I am challenging you, if you're listening to this, to just pick your battles. Don't worry about, you're like, oh my gosh, I might get fired for this because it's wrong. Yeah, I see it's wrong, but I'm too wimpy to say anything. No! There is no such thing as I am too wimpy to say something. Get up! Get up and actually say something. Do what you know is right. Step out, put your butt on the line, and help somebody else. I am seriously adamant about this. Get out there and do what you know is right. And if you're not going to do what's right, I can't even have you in the circle. I'm going to have to defreak you like I talked about a couple of days ago. Okay? That's Michael. So, what do you do when the spotlight's shining on you and you've got a choice to make? Do you fall back into the shadows, or do you stand up and you do what you know is right? This is Michael Jackson. I hope you do what's right. Peace.